Well, you've probably heard the big news of the day already. Christian Horner, Red Bull Racing Team principal of 20 years, has been sacked with immediate effect. And there's going to be a big shake-up. Laura Mecki, as the current Racing Bulls team principal, is moving into being Red Bull CEO, with Alan Permain moving up into Racing Bulls team principal as a direct result. I mean, coming off the back of the British Grand Prix, reportedly Horner was involved in a big bust-up between the Verstappen camp and the director of communications. And, well, it looks like it's become an untenable situation for Red Bull's team principal. Rumours are that he'd lost the support of the Thai side of the business that owns 51% of Red Bull. Honestly, they probably should have sacked Horner after last year's sexting scandal, if you want to call it that. But unfortunately, the way sports teams are most of the time, winning tends to solve everything. And Red Bull were coming off arguably the greatest single season in Formula One history in terms of achievement. They were one win away from a perfect season. And, well, you read between the lines and you could see that the friction in this team was already starting to build from last year. I mean, look at the departures of staff that they've lost. Adrian Newey was the big one, although I suspect Red Bull's development slide was happening while Newey was still in play back in 2023. Jonathan Wheatley, the glue guy, the sporting director, who the guy that many saw as the best in the business, moving over to Kick Sauber to be team principal over there. Rob Marshall has now gone to McLaren and won them a championship almost immediately. Will Courtenay also on the way out now to become McLaren sporting director next year. Part of me wonders, how much did the Verstappen camp have a role in this? This could go one way or the other. Was Max Verstappen and his camp basically in a situation of it's him or it's me? Or is it the more nuclear option that Verstappen's already decided, I want to leave, I'm going to go to Mercedes, and as a result of that, Red Bull's decided, well, if Verstappen's going, we might as well just blow this up and start over. I think it's the former. We've known about the Verstappen and Horner camp splits with Helmut Marko on Max's side of the fence for quite some time. I think with Horner gone, I think Max is actually a little bit more likely to stay. And look, say what you will about Christian Horner, he's one of the greatest team principals in Formula One history. 6 constructors' titles, 8 drivers' titles. But if you're not winning in Formula One, even if the scandal didn't directly lead to this, and they will never say it publicly because remember, Horner was cleared of all wrongdoing in the investigations in regards to that. But even so, the damage done to the team's reputation on top of the departures, on top of the lack of performance, was probably too much to bear. Although I do wonder, will Ferrari have a team opening anytime soon?